I need to work out more. Guys, we've been waiting a long time for this, and today is the day. Yuka is here. Hey guys, Crazypostman here. Well, I'm excited to finally be able to bring you Yuka. So if you've been following my channel, y'all know I've had Luba for the last year and a half out here on this 3-acre property, just mowing away every day. Well, now I have Yuka to make videos with, so today's video is just gonna be an unboxing and setup process video. But stay tuned, I'll have many more videos to come to go over all the details of Yuka. Now, you might be asking, Crazypostman, why are you out here at your parents' house with Yuka instead of installing it at your house? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one being, I think they will benefit more from the lawn sweeper here than at my house. And another reason is I'm gonna have another smaller robot lawnmower at my house in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. But today it's all about Yuka. Let's get this thing unboxed and check it out. Now, before I start unboxing, you might notice I only have the lawnmower here. I don't have the sweeper kit, and that's because the mowers were ready just a few weeks before the sweeper kits were. So I got the mower first, and the sweeper kit will be coming in a few weeks. So when the sweeper kit gets here, we'll make some videos and I will tell you all about it at that time. But today, it's all about just Yuka the mower. Now, one of the things about Mammotion that's different than other robot lawnmowers is in most places, they don't have a local dealer yet or a repair facility. So when you're unpacking this box, try to keep the box in good shape and the packing materials with it in case you need any kind of warranty repair. That's what they do. They'll send you a label to ship it to them, so you'll pack everything back up in this box and ship it to the repair center. Now, hopefully that never happens, but that's just a good thing to keep in mind, that you need to keep this box. Just throw it up in the attic or something. Just keep it around so you can use it later if you need to. AC adapter and a tool. Oh, they gave you a nice tool to change the blades with. We didn't get a nice tool like this with Luba 1. There is your ground spikes and some additional screws in here. RTK pole, one of them. This is the second one to make it a little bit taller. This is the other AC adapter for the charger base. I think that first one was for the RTK unit, so you can use it separated if you want to. This is the ground spike for the RTK antenna. Extra set of blades here. Here is the RTK head unit that screws onto that pole and it stabs in the ground, or you can mount it separately in a higher location. Not quite sure what this is. That would require me opening the instruction manual, but I'm way too excited to do that right now. This is the 900 megahertz or 800 megahertz if you're in Europe antenna for the RTK unit. Let's get down to the main event here. Look at that. I just have a, y'all can't see right now, but I just have a big smile on my face. Let's get this thing out of here. Here is the back side of the charging base and some additional cable. That's interesting. They're doing it a different way now. Before, this came attached with the AC adapter, and now it seems like it comes pre-attached to the charging head here. So you can see the back half of the charging station here is a different design than the old Luba was. Luba had a couple of set of pins that it would back into, and the pins like had springs attached to them, but Yuka is designed a different way. It charges from the front, so it will pull in forward into the charging station and kind of just impale itself on these little pins here. That's a pretty big rear end here. Yuka has a pretty big haunch going on back here. So here is our first look at Yuka. We no longer have the four-wheel drive. We have two-wheel drive now, and it replaces it with a caster wheel up here. Yuka seems to balance nicely here on its butt, almost like it's made to sit up like that. I wonder if this is how they want us to clean off the bottom with it sitting up like this. I'll have to read the instructions. Haven't read the instructions yet. Oh, there's a nice handle back here in the back. Look at this, guys. It's a really nice handle. You can do your curls here with Yuka. A place to grab in the front and a place to grab back here, and it makes it kind of easier to lift up. This place you're grabbing in the front is kind of where the charger goes. And this little windshield wiper just makes me happy. I can't wait to try that out. Just a little windshield wiper. Swipes right across both cameras. You probably shouldn't do it yourself without turning it on. So here it is. Let's get a little bit up close and personal with Yuka here. You can see some instructions on the side here. Read the owner's manual. Oh no, we can't ride on it? Well, that's unfortunate. I was going to try to do that first. These are some big back tires. I don't know if the camera does that justice, but they are huge. Got some basic instructions here. It's basically the same way Luba worked. You press home and start. Yuka returns to the charging station. The grass and start. Yuka resumes work. Okay, this is new. Home and home, security lock / unlock. I'm not sure what that means. We'll have to look in the manual.
Editor Crazypostman here. I looked in the manual and I couldn't find a reference to this combination of buttons talking about security lock and unlock, so I don't know.
Power, long press 5 seconds to turn on Yuka, and then this is how you adjust the cutting height. Yuka does not have an automatically adjusting deck like Luba did. You have to do it manually here on the top, and your options look like 3 through 10.
Editor Crazypostman back with you again. So I looked at this label for a long time and it was confusing the heck out of me. For starters, I'm assuming that the gauge for the deck is in centimeters because this one goes from 3 to 10. Not sure why I'm being afflicted by the metric units instead of the wonderful freedom units, but moving on. In the instruction manual, this same note here refers to millimeters, so that threw me for another loop. What this appears to be telling you is Yuka is only capable of cutting grass that is 10 to 13 centimeters max. So it's telling you to use the 10 centimeter option for the tallest max grass. But another thing that's throwing me off, why is the US version capable of cutting 13 centimeter grass and the rest of the world only capable of cutting 12 centimeter grass? I mean, is it because things are bigger here in the US? I don't get that. Someone will have to explain that one to me.
I've been looking at this label here, and I'm not sure I quite understand what it even means. So, we got the stop button. Oh gosh. Hey, maybe that's what that other thing was that I didn't know what it was earlier. It was a key because this has like a little lock symbol on it. Nice. So we got a little warning over here on the side that says there is foam underneath that we need to remove before we use it. And there it is. See, even a crazy postman can't screw this up. I guess this keeps it from wobbling around too much during shipping, so it's probably another thing you'll want to save. And examining underneath here, that is what I thought. There's 3 blades on each side. It does have a slightly smaller cutting deck than Luba. I like this design much, 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 much better. It doesn't appear that any junk is going to get trapped back in here. Of course, I haven't tried it out yet, but that's way more open than Luba was. That there is some crap built up there behind the plates, and I think it was keeping it from going down level. I'm going to try to use my leaf blower here and blow some of that out. It's in my eye. It's in my eye. So I think I figured out where that little bag with screws in it goes. So you can see this base has 3 screw holes in it. So that secures the charging head here to the charging floor. So even if you don't use the screws, it clips in. But you're going to want to use the screws to make sure it's secure, because when Yuka comes in for a charge, it's going to kind of bump into it. So you want it to stay secured. So here's the accessory bag that goes with the charger base. When I quickly showed it to you earlier, I said it has the ground spikes and some screws in it. So we need the screws first to put this together. There is also another smaller Allen key in here. Not sure what that's for, but obviously we need it somewhere, so make sure you hang on to that. You don't want to do it too tight because everything's plastic here. So just until you get some resistance and then stop. So here's how Yuka's going to charge. It's going to come in face first, and it will just impel itself on those little charging poles. So now we need to figure out where we're going to install Yuka to mow here.
Editor Crazypostman here. I decided to break this video up into 2 parts because it was getting a little long, and I know I get a lot of complaints that my videos are too long. So we're going to end the unboxing video here, and then coming back in part 2, we're going to do the installation and the setup and the first mow. So obviously part 2 is already filmed, so you won't have to wait very long for it. I just got to get it put together. So maybe after a day or 2 after this one comes out, you can go ahead and start looking for part 2 to come out. And in true Crazypostman fashion, of course, there was a few mishaps.
And it just drove completely out of the area. And it's eating Mimi's flowers. Well, now I have Luba to make, oh gosh. But Luba, I'm still calling it Luba. So Luba can sit up nicely, Luba. So here's how Yuka charges. A little bit different than Luba.